With regards to flying creatures, we regularly consider the unlimited assortments of fowls and maybe bats, possibly pterosaurs from the dinosaur age. However, advancement and transformation are loaded with shocks. To be sure, you may not understand that flight has advanced in creatures, empowering species, for example, fish, warm-blooded animals, reptiles, and creatures of land and water to build up the capacity to be airborne. Wild turkeys. We will in general connect turkeys more with Thanksgiving than the skies. By and large, at whatever point you see a turkey in the wild, it's ashore. So it might come as an unexpected that wild turkeys can really fly, but just short separations. In any case, when they fly at extensive speed. Truth be told, live science guarantees that they can fly as fast as 55 miles for every hour, which likens to just about 90 kilometers for each hour. Flying snakes. The idea of a flying snake may leave a few people froze, yet these creatures do exist, dominatingly found in Southeast Asia. The uplifting news is their toxin is normally just enough to hurt little prey, for example, reptiles, rodents, frogs, and feathered creatures, not people. The University of Chicago delivered a paper on flying snakes in 2015 after an investigation, and lead researcher Jake Sacha, PhD, stated, regardless of their absence of wing-like limbs, flying snakes are gifted elevated locomotors. Ballooning spiders. The idea of bug swelling is one of the most imaginative in the creature world. It happens in numerous types of light bugs, frequently the spiderlings. Basically, these 8-legged creatures have advanced to deliver silk strings which get the breeze like a parachute and make them airborne, much like kiting. It's a remotely fueled strategy, which is remarkable. Flying squid. Japanese analysts have asserted that the squid can skim for up to 30 meters and at 11.2 meters every second, like Usain Bolt's 100m run pace. The report by Japanese scientists additionally stated, "We have found that squid don't simply leap out of water, however have a profoundly evolved flying stance. These squid coast out of the water, as opposed to fly, utilizing impetus prior to spreading and expanding their blades and arms into a vertical position which keeps them airborne." Draco lizards. There's something especially adorable about Dracos, in spite of the fact that dies down a piece when they take off. These minuscule agamid reptiles, identified with iguanas, are fit for expanding their extended ribs and the interfacing films to make wings, the patagia, which empowers them to float. They've likewise got an optional fold on their neck to help coasting. It isn't exactly controlled flight, however for a 20 cm reptile they can coast in excess of 50 meters, which is a reasonable separation moderately. They fly so as to maintain a strategic distance from hunters on the woodland floor, yet additionally to discover mates and suppers. They are very regional as well. They'll frequently skim from tree to secure their domain. Flying fish. There are 40 types of these marine fish that can really fly, by moving themselves out of the water and skimming. Like a portion of the previously mentioned creatures, flying fish utilize this strategy to get away from hunters yet float instead of flying like a fledgling or bat, regardless of having wing-like balances. They're normally found in the Caribbean island country of Barbados, which is known as the place where there is the flying fish. They're commonly found in tropical seas and inside 200 m of the surface, consequently their advancement to use the territory over the water level. Flying squirrels. National Geographic described these creatures as living, breathing paper aeroplanes. Flying squirrels cannot fly like a bird, but they instead glide utilizing their built-in parachute, the patagium, which is a membrane that stretches from wrist to ankle and looks like a hang glider. Their long tail acts as a stabilizer and a brake, while they use their limbs for direction. Flying squirrels glide from tree to tree within forests, to ensure they avoid the predators which occupy the forest floor. They can glide from anywhere from 40 to 150 meters. Gliding ants. The terrific thing about skimming ants is they are wingless, yet they have aced a method of flight. These arboreal creepy crawlies have developed to coordinate their tumble from trees. The wonder of coasting ants is generally newfound, with the University of California researcher composing a paper on them in 2005. Given their tree-bound presence, these ants have figured out how to discover their way back to their unique tree, on the off chance that they fall, utilizing viewable signals. Scientists contemplated them to find that they can turn 180 degrees noticeable all around. Scheming ants come into tree trunks in reverse, hitting them with their back legs. Regularly they skip off. It's assessed there's a 85% achievement pace of arriving on a similar tree trunk. Chinese flying frog. Frequently otherwise called Blandford's whipping frog, huge tree frog, or Denny's whipping frog, these frogs are a generally enormous tree-abiding species. Notwithstanding their size, they're ready to accomplish trip by floating between trees. They do this with interesting webbed feet and hands that demonstration like parachutes, empowering them to deal with a slow descending airborne inclination. Mobiles. There's mostly secret about these beams, all in all known as villain beams. Nonetheless, what they are known for is their awkward dives. Researchers once in a while allude to them as sea aerialists. These fish look like most beams, with huge wing-like balances. They're solid swimmers, typically in schools, and they utilize that capacity to move themselves out of the water, frequently flipping or whirling noticeable all around, prior to tumbling once again into the water. Commonly they can just get around 2 meters out of the water, so it's not actually full flight, however it is exceptionally inquisitive conduct at the same time.